Read this. You probably read that without struggling. But here's the weird part. Your brain didn't actually read every single letter. It guessed. Right now, while you're watching this video, your brain is making thousands of predictions every second. It isn't waiting patiently for every letter to arrive. It's constantly asking one question. What is this most likely supposed to be? And most of the time, it's right. Imagine your friend sends you a text that says, "I'll be there in 10 minutes." You instantly understand they meant minutes. You don't stop. You don't get confused. Your brain quietly fixes the mistake before you even notice it. That's because your brain cares more about meaning than perfect spelling. In fact, reading isn't as simple as looking at one letter after another. Your eyes don't move smoothly across a sentence. They jump. Scientists call these tiny jumps saccades. Your eyes land on a few important spots, collect information, then your brain fills in everything between them. You're not reading every letter. You're sampling information and predicting the rest. Think about recognizing your best friend in a crowd. You don't inspect every eyelash or every strand of hair. One quick glance is enough because your brain already knows the pattern. Words work the same way. Your brain remembers the general shape of familiar words. That's why the sentence still makes sense. AOC Tiernig to our church. Your Brian is Ikenreddelby Samarat. Looks like a mess, yet you probably understood it. As long as the first and last letters stay close to where they belong and the sentence gives enough context, your brain can often rebuild the entire message. But don't celebrate just yet. Try reading this. VKHT text QRMs at LPW snock. Not so easy anymore. Why? Because your brain has nothing to predict. No familiar words, no useful context, no pattern. Without patterns, your reading speed drops almost instantly. This ability explains something you've probably experienced before. Have you ever sent a message with a typo, then noticed it only after pressing send? But when someone else makes the exact same mistake, you notice it immediately. That's because when you write something yourself, your brain already knows what you intended to say. Instead of reading what's actually on the screen, it reads what it expects to see. Your expectations become stronger than reality. That's also why proofreading your own work is surprisingly difficult. Professional writers often miss obvious mistakes in their own writing, not because they're careless, but because their brains keep correcting the errors automatically. The same thing happens when doctors read messy handwriting, when you recognize a familiar logo from far away, or when your phone predicts the next word you're about to type. Prediction saves time. Your brain loves shortcuts. Of course, shortcuts aren't always perfect. Sometimes your brain predicts the wrong thing. That's why you occasionally read one word, then suddenly realize, wait, that's not what it actually says. Your brain was moving too fast. It made an educated guess, and for a split second, you believed it. What's even crazier is that children don't do this nearly as well as adults. When you're first learning to read, you focus carefully on almost every letter. As you become a stronger reader, your brain builds a huge library of word patterns. Eventually, reading starts feeling almost effortless. Not because your eyes became better, because your brain became better at guessing. So the next time you read a text full of typos, remember this. Your brain isn't reading like a camera. It's solving a puzzle. Every sentence is a prediction. Every word is another guess. And somehow, it gets most of them right. So here's today's challenge. Can you read this without slowing down? If you could, your brain just proved how incredible it really is. Now I want to know, what's the worst typo you've ever read perfectly without even realizing it? Drop it in the comments. And while you're there, what weird thing should Milo Explains explain next?